to covering this picture. But first, you again, as always, make these connections, these dots, connecting dots within in between the lines, and now connecting it. So for these others, most specifically for the PC itself, making it being able to read it reading without the need to read between the lines. That's what it is. Nothing else. There's no other reason for this. And just make it more sharp without empty spaces made empty. These dots. You're making how can something be empty though? Like, yeah, that's empty space. That's the emptiness itself. But how could it be like dot? Because dot, even though you could be confused how small or like unimpressive it is, but surprise for you, it's an object anyway. It's how like micro and mini and nano atoms, actually the first ones in the universe from the beginning. That's the actual core. So it means even the smallest objects were actually the first ones, and that's where everything arrived from, where everything started. So it's the base. So you can't say it's no object. And by the size, yeah, the size confuses you because we're living in a world where people can't appreciate small things because they can't see, they don't believe. You must physically, you must see it. You must see, you must have it all in front of your view, so you register it, even you recognize it. Otherwise, your brain doesn't even notice it, and then it confuses you like it's useless. While you can play even with small tools. That's the underestimating of things, depending on how you use it and if you can, if not, and if it's sometimes, yeah, sometimes obviously it's based on something, so I guess it can be the other way, but don't get it twisted. It's the base, and there are things, and don't just measure it by the physical aspects, and don't just. It doesn't mean like more is better. It's not always the case. It was the basic base, and it's important nevertheless. But how could we like consider something, even a dog? I'm just saying it like, don't get it twisted. It's an object nevertheless. But how could we say so? Therefore, it's an object. Dot is object already. So how could you say for like something to be empty space? Well, it's already an object. How some object can be empty? While it's already object, it's an object itself already. So it fills the empty space by itself. So what it is empty dot, is a dot empty space. But the dot is already, it's filling, it's just the smallest object, it's just this dot. It's dot. It's not a line, it's just a dot. It's just one click, one dot. See, and you can have a stronger click, and it's just the same click. Look, one click is this, one click is this, one click is this. It was one click. It was nothing else. And see, now you're paying attention to this, don't you? And it's the same thing as this. But so therefore, see, it's filling this empty white area with being black. Even though it's the smallest object possible, but it's there. And it fills the empty space. But we say like dot, we also say like dot it's nothing, yeah. But is it nothing then? It fills the space. I don't know. And what we are actually doing, we are adding dots. So it's not empty anymore. So it fills the purpose of, see here, we just need a dot. We just need a dot here. So we are actually adding small, nevertheless, but an object. So let's add these dots and other shapes. Why do I have to be so like pseudo? I need to pseudo philosophical about anything, about everything. I don't know. Don't ask me because I just said I don't know. And I'm not even asking you because how could you know? And I'm already doing it again in a way. And no, it's not philosophical. It just I am confusing myself with my confused thoughts that actually makes no sense. And all it does, if I continue doing it, it instead of leading to some disclosure or some new pathway to being found, it actually gets me lost in a thoughts labyrinth. Nothing else. And apologizing for taking like kind of long here because I got lost in the thoughts instead. Let's focus on just dots and make the connections in dots so it actually makes some road, not rows. Maybe a road to roses. Guns and Roses, Guns and Roses. Let's make our way to the. Let's find a road out of labyrinth to a straight road to Rose's field. That sounds nice, yeah. And how can we reach there? Well, just adding and connecting the dots in between, and they will lead the way. They will show me the way, show me the way. Uh, like on a road, you have these navigations, these arrows, and your lines on the traffic. That's the dots. That's the like on the floor in companies and everywhere in shopping malls where there's navigation on the floor. If there would unfortunately happen an fire or something, some emergency, and you can't even see because it's so smoky and cloudy in. So you just follow watching your steps downward where there's these navigation arrows and lines that just navigates you to the exit. That's what we're doing here. Let's just focus on one thing at a time. On these dots. And once we focus on one dot a day. Let's focus on one dot a day. That would be long with this drawing. But let's focus just 1 dot a day or at a time at least, and then it will just naturally move on to the next one and next one. And before you know it, you're at the end of the road, looking back, and you've made it. And now it's all connected, and finally it makes all sense. Even if you've been doubting it, but at the end of the day, at the end of this day where you focus just on a 1 dot a day, but with practice, one day it will happen, and you've got it now. You've got it, meaning you don't need to focus on 1 dot a day, but 2 or 3, but even like 10, or just all at once. Mm. But I'm not there yet. I can just say, like, if you wouldn't rate it like this from a quick glance, also, like if you couldn't tell, they're just making sure we are on the same line, dots, lines of line of dots. No, let's connect it. After, I swear, right after, there will be coloring time. Okay. I think this should do, don't you think? I think so. So we will find out soon.